podcast this week is brought to you by Bloke and a Bar Beer.
Our favourite beer.
Our favourite beer. Now look, NRL, regular season and finals is all coming to an end.
It's sad. Footy's over.
It is sad that footy's over, but you know what's not over? This beer.
This beer will never be over.
This beer is the beer all year.
This can of beer will be over. But luckily,
Yeah, exactly.
I've got fucking 23 more of them in the fridge, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So we can keep pounding these beers all year.
These beers never have to be over for you either. You can
No.
have them all year round.
No, exactly. There's plenty, if you want to enjoy them with sport as well, there's plenty of other sport coming on. The summer of cricket is basically
Also just
upon
summer.
us.
You don't even need sport in summer,
No.
do you?
You know what you can do? You can go sit out on the deck, shirt off, footy shorts on, feet kicked up. Kids are screaming on the lawn. Maybe not.
You know,
You can just be enjoying a bloke.
it's just about October, and after October is November, which is pretty much December, and December's silly season. So it's pretty much silly season.
Congratulations, you've basically made it to silly season. You should go get a carton of bloke and start
Get silly.
celebrating.
Get silly with a few blokes this silly season.
I know I will be.
I definitely will be. If you want to get silly with a few blokes this silly season, head to blokeandabar.com, use their store locator to find out how you can get some blokes down your throat.
If that doesn't get you horn, I don't know what will. Maybe Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Horn.
Yeah, could do.
Get silly with Jeff.
Get silly with Jeff. Go to blokeandabar.com. Good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it is. Welcome back to the Lower Grade Letdowns with Klutz and Das. Darsehole, how are we?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad.
It's a bit of a sad
Bit
occasion,
sad,
isn't
to
it?
be honest. Yeah, it is.
Footy's over.
Yeah, we're coming to you after the finale of the NRL season.
For 2022.
2022. There is a little bit of footy around the corner soon, but what do we really do in the meantime?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What should we do?
I don't know. Hope.
Hope. Pray.
Yeah.
Reminisce.
There's a lot of American sports starting up.
There is.
But they're at like 3 a.m. in the morning. So
Yeah.
miss me with that.
Or when I'm at work.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is not bad. Get to watch it. It's on the background at work, which is nice.
But yeah, it is what it is. I yawned then because I was just thinking about the grand final on Sunday. We might as well crack into it.
Do you reckon it's because we're Queenslanders and we hate both the teams that it wasn't a good game, or do you think?
No, I
I
think it's the fact that it was the worst viewed and rated grand final in the modern era. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
Least amount of views. It was like 1.5 or 1.6.
Such a shame.
Views. Yeah, the least watched grand final.
I was pretty unenthused. Obviously, as everyone who's listening will probably know, being a Queenslander, it's like we didn't even know who to support. I didn't even turn it on for like any of the pre-game. Usually the pre-game gets you so up and about. But this year I was just sort of like, well, like I'll put it on for kickoff. And yeah.
Pretty shit. Congrats to the Panthers.
Yeah,
they
well
were
done.
always going to win.
They're the best team by a country mile this year.
I'm just going to say I had a bad beat with my bet straight away.
Fucking
I
oath you did.
actually messaged Das about this and he's like, nah, that actually sucks. So
This could have redeemed your whole season, this bet too.
it would have, except, fate as it was, decided to bend me
That's
over
punting,
and say,
hey?
No, boys. No.
No, boys. No.
I've just got to go back through all my other bets.
Few from the weekend,
From
Bull.
the weekend, eh? But yeah, look, congrats to the Panthers. They played a great game. The Eels were never up to it, and as we said, they were never going to be up to it. Now, this may appear as not
A bad beat.
but
Yeah.
it is. So if people remember, my bet was Penrith 13 plus, Toto to score, so that both happened.
Tick.
Then I had Cleary, Kickow, and Sevo. They all didn't score tries, but
They all knocked it on over the try line.
all of them knocked the ball on over the try line or had the ball taken away from them over the try line. Literally, like, you couldn't script that shit.
No.
I was pretty upset. So that was a $71 multi that went begging. Yes,
That's the closest missing $71 multi I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, even though it's 3 legs, they were literally over the line.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty heartbreaking.
Do you reckon you'd prefer to have it fail like that than one? Like, imagine if the other two scored.
Yeah.
Because that's way too close.
Yeah, I definitely preferred that. I would have preferred to win, to be perfectly honest.
That would have been the most favourable outcome.
Yeah, it would
is
have
a
been
win.
awesome, but it is what it is. But, does it made me think, like, literally, Sunday was just, it was so disappointing. The scoreline's way too flattering to Parramatta. They were never in it. Moses Leota and James Fisher-Harris just dominated in the forwards.
Yep.
And just the Eels just never looked like doing anything. Hey, like it was just crazy.
They showed ticker too late. They scored a couple of late tries. One of the tries they scored was potentially the best of the season.
Yeah, it was actually really.
It was
good.
a gun try,
but it was the game's over. No one cares.
Too little, too late.
Yeah, you can't lose from here. But it made me think. Going back to when I can remember watching my first grand final. Now, there's a bit of a list here. So it's 2003 was the first grand final I remember between Penrith and the Roosters. Now, I've gone through. Das doesn't know all my rankings here, but I've gone through and ranked all of the grand finals.
Oh, you did every one?
I did every single grand final from
That's so
2003 to now. That's why it took so long.
I thought it was just a top 5.
No. I've done every single one. So we're going to run through that because there's fuck all sport on and people... We're here to put out some riveting content for you.
Some dribbling content.
So, yeah, I've got Sunday's final as the worst final I've seen.
That's a bit cool.
28-12 victory to the Panthers.
Yeah.
My notes on that, it was just a generally shit final.
Yeah. Wasn't much like
there wasn't... Penrith played well, and it was...
They deserved to win.
Man, with all the hype around it, the Battle of the West and all that, like... Parramatta and Penrith, so I've got a mate, Shippo, who I used to work with. He's a diehard Penrith supporter. He's from the area, and he said, whenever a Penrith player goes to Para or vice versa, it's like the biggest sin. Like it's like you are excommunicated from our fucking community.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's massive. So you'd expect with such high tensions and so much at stake and emotion that it'd be better.
Especially the occasion.
Fucking oath. But... I suppose Manly are led by King Gutho, who...
Para, you mean?
Huh?
Parramatta. You said Manly.
Oh, yeah, sorry. He was... Well, that's what I was getting at. He's from Manly, so he doesn't understand... he came up through the Manly system. He doesn't understand the whole
what sucks?
Rivalry.
And I know that this is probably very harsh on Gutho, seeing as he just lost a grand final. I cannot imagine, how shattering that would be. But his speech after the game was it's like, thanks to our sponsors, Penrith, well done, guys. You had a good season. Thanks to our coaching staff. But just ticked all the boxes off the stage. For
Pretty
me,
shit.
that's when you need to get up and be like, fuck, we'll remember this. We're going to, think about this before every game next year.
But
this
it shows that they're not going to come back because they know that they're losing so many players.
Yeah. It's just a bit uninspiring. I feel like that's the time when you rally your troops, you're like...
Yeah.
Well, this is going to light a fire in us, players.
Before we get into the rest of the countdown, there's a lot of shit going around about how the Penrith boys have celebrated and carried on. I personally love the say hello to your daddies.
Yeah.
Hello, Para, our sons.
Yeah.
I just think that's so funny.
Yeah.
And I haven't been the biggest Penrith fan.
Yeah.
Because they're so arrogant.
Yeah.
But I just think that's fucking awesome that they're carrying on with it still. And you can tell they hadn't slept. Apparently Nathan Cleary came out of the change room at 7:30. And he's like, I'm going home for an hour's sleep. I can't wait to be back. But I need to do it so I can be up for the people and enjoy the experience. If you think an hour's sleep is going to help you, Nathan, you have a lot coming for you.
It's going to hinder you, if anything.
Definitely. But moving on, 2008, Manly beat the Storm 40-0. Now, Cameron Smith didn't play that game. It was, as a Melbourne supporter, it was shit. As a rugby league supporter, it was shit. Anyone that doesn't go for Manly, it's just like, fuck, this sucks. 40-0 in a grand final is terrible.
It's not
particularly
great,
when that was our golden era, even though we may have had some salary cap issues, which we will
won't
get to
about.
soon. It's fucked. The only shining light that I could find from that game was a prop won the Clive Churchill.
That's sick. Who
that's
was it?
Brent Kite.
Brent Kite.
And that's
he used to tuck his collar into his shirt.
Yeah, the collar tucker.
Yeah.
So rumour has it that he just evaded all the tackles up around his neck because no one could actually grab onto the collar.
The inverse Brent Tate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no neck brace for that boy. Now, I've put the 07 and 09 finals as equal. So 07 we beat, by we, I mean the Storm. I am part of the team. 34-8, we beat Manly, and then we beat the Eels 23-16. Those titles were stripped because there was allegations that we cheated. I still don't think we did. I think it's actually the NRL's fault.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Well, the NRL should have checked the books better.
Yeah,
they should have said, "Hey, boys,
they're the ones making the rules. You got to enforce them."
Exactly. You got to enforce them. It's like the law.
You know what also sucks about that? Who did you beat?
Manly and the Eels.
Like imagine me in the Eels.
Oh, bro, so good. I remember it so vividly when they lost as well.
But you're like so technically no one won that year, right? Like Storm got stripped, but Para don't get the premiership.
No, because they lost.
You got beaten by a team who cheated, but you don't get the premiership still.
Nah.
So you're the best like legal team of the year.
Yeah, but you're not premiers.
Exactly.
Because you couldn't win the
Imagine
big
how
dance.
shit that would be.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Like you don't make many premiers like grand finals.
That's why you got to give credit to Manly. They got done 34-8 the year before they won, and they come out and beat a cheating team 40-0.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Allegedly cheating team. I'm still not saying that we cheated.
Maybe I should check on Manly if they're beating the team by 40 points.
Yeah,
that cheated the salary cap.
Exactly. George Rose would have been on a lot of meat pies.
How do you think they funded No Limit? Meat pies.
Meat pies, 4-20. Shout out to them. The next game I had, grand final, 2010, the Dragons beat the Roosters. Now, people might say this is incredibly low and shit to call this final so bad. It was a 32-8 win, and it was the Dragons' first premiership. But it was just a shit game.
Can't remember it, to be honest.
Bro, it was like they had... what's his name? I just had his name. Jamie... Soured. Like... That's when he was at his absolute best.
Sweet and soured.
Yeah, sweet and soured. That was when he's at his absolute best, and the Dragons were awesome. They were the best team all year. But it was just, for a grand final, you want it to be nice and close.
Yeah. Tense.
Intense, and there has to be some feeling. There was no feeling from the Roosters that day. It's just great to see the Roosters lose. 2018, I had Roosters 21 against the Storm 6. Now, the reason why I think this one was so shit is, one, it was Cooper Cronk's first year away from Melbourne, and he's at the Roosters. But this is when Cronk had his fuck shoulder.
Yeah.
And the whole game, it was just Melbourne trying to hurt Cronk.
You don't think that was a good grand final?
I didn't like it, no.
I reckon the storyline there between Cronk not being able to lift his shoulder up and being out there just to guide the boys around.
Yeah, but the problem is that the emotion... like got to the overwhelming emotion got to like Melbourne, and all they were focusing on was hurting Cronk, which you could tell because the game should have been a lot tighter than what it was.
You're sounding a lot like a Melbourne supporter.
Yeah, well, no shit. It was a shit game.
I reckon that was pretty cool, that game.
Yeah. I think I also had in my notes there that this would probably be higher if I wasn't a biased Melbourne supporter. The next one I had...
Fine print. T's and C's.
The year before, the 2017 grand final. Now, I could have put this higher if I didn't have my bias hat, or if I had my bias hat on. We beat the Cowboys 34-6. It was the last time that the GOATs were all together playing. Smith, Slater, Cronk. But 28-point win.
Yeah.
Massive.
Not really... fairy tale, like thrilling fairy tale finish. No,
exactly. It was just one sided. Like, I loved it, but from a rugby league perspective, it was shit. 2011, Manly beat the Warriors.
I love how when the Storm lose and it's one sided.
Yeah,
it's shit. But the other way around, you're like, oh, it's like.
Well, for me, it was great, but for rugby league, it was shit.
Yeah, but you're not worried about rugby league when it's the other way around.
No, not really. Well, everyone else loves it when Melbourne gets pounded.
Yeah.
2011, Manly beat the Warriors 24-10. So storyline from that season was Melbourne got minor premiers and we were fucking a shoe-in to verse Manly. It was going to be an intense... we would have versed Manly 4 or 5 times in grand finals. And then the 6th place Warriors come out and beat us by 10 or 12 points in the prelim at Amy Park, and that's when the hoodoo sort of started.
Yeah.
For some reason, the Warriors just became our hoodoo team until we beat them by 70 points this year. But yeah, that was pretty much it there. But the shit thing about this game was the Warriors played their grand final against Melbourne. They were never going to win.
Yep.
And it's the Warriors.
Yep.
Maybe they can turn it around in this decade, but it's not looking likely.
Not looking great, is it?
Next one, 2012, Storm beating the Bulldogs 14-4. Once again, the bias hat could have put it up. The only memorable things from this game is Ennis lost. I wasn't a big fan of Ennis as a player. I fucking hated him. And James Graham got a little bit hungry and bit Billy Slater's ear.
That was so hectic.
And Billy was complaining about it, and Krishnan Inu was trying to blow up because he scored this try, and then Billy's like, no, that fucker just bit my ear.
Check the tape.
I think from memory, Graham got a 12-week suspension or something like that, which is pretty crazy.
12 weeks is long. Doesn't sound like a long time, but it's a long time.
It's like half the
25
season.
25-game season,
yeah, it's insane. Now, the next game, another one-sided affair, 2005. The Tigers beat the Cowboys 30-16. Why this is ranked up there, Benji and Robbie at their prime.
Yeah.
Like young throbbers just fucking doing their
Benji
thing.
at his prime. Like, I
Amazing.
honestly think Benji Marshall's underrated in terms of like how
where he
the impact
sits
he had
the-
on the game.
Yeah. Oh,
Like, obviously, everyone thinks he's awesome.
you
but
talk
like,
about it now. He's the one that the Benji flick pass and
The
shit like that.
sidestep,
The
like-
sidestep, that's all come because of him.
Yeah.
Which is insane
Like, you
to
talk
think.
about the likes of
Yeah.
Thurston, Lockyer, Johns,
Yeah.
those sorts of guys. Benji's not
Exactly.
in that conversation, but he definitely should be.
Definitely.
He's a fucking gun.
Tigers got the premiership, and where have they been since? Nowhere near.
Nowhere. Bring back Benji.
So, yep.
Isn't Benji going there next year as a coach?
Assistant coach for 2 years,
There you
and
go.
then he's
That'd be
taking
huge.
over as head coach for 3 years, and Robbie Farah's assisting him,
That's sick.
which is good.
That's what you want.
But like, hopefully, man, to me, he seems like he's going to be the sort of coach that's like a much younger but similar style to say like your Bennett and your Bellamy's. They're more
Yeah.
player manager. They manage the man more than
The
actually
game or
coach
the-
the
yeah,
game.
team. Yeah.
They'll do their pointers and they'll tell you where to work on shit, but they're more about creating a good culture and a good vibe and a winning culture, that sort of thing.
Like Jeeps.
Yeah, exactly. Like Jeeps. Shout out to 6th grade. We won the premiership again, baby.
The culture down there is fucking winning.
Yeah,
That's
it
all
is.
it's about.
It is. You don't have to go to train. Look, the West Tigers might actually give me a call up and say, what'd you do? I said, you know what?
No training.
We went to one training session all year and we lost that game. So what does
Did
that
you
tell you?
actually?
Yeah, it was the first week of finals. We went to one training session
And lost.
When we went out and lost 20-something to 7. And everyone was like,
We're never training again.
no, we're not training again. So that happened. Mate, I don't know why the fuck I did it, but I decided to get really pissed on Saturday night in between a big move.
You love getting pissed, that's why.
Yeah, that is one reason. And it was Jeeves' presentation.
That's
But,
the worst
mate,
thing.
I was so tired all day Sunday moving. Had to get my mattress over. The bed frame was already there. Set
Moving
that
is
all up.
one of the world's greatest ball aches.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It is a huge ball ache.
You know what else sucks?
What?
Ball aches.
Ball aches do suck.
Another big ball ache?
What?
Making your bed.
Making your bed. But you know what? Despite how fucking tired I was, I had the energy and I just had the knowledge that I was going to be able to get to sleep quite quickly because I had my lag collective sheets.
Fucking oath.
Literally, it took me, I reckon, under 30 seconds to find the tags, put them underneath the bed, and then
The
just
extra
assemble
depth.
it.
The extra depth just
Bro,
allows for ease.
It's massive. And the good thing is that they never come off.
Never come off.
The
And
only
you
time
never
they-
get the corners wrong because they're fucking labelled.
Exactly. The only time they come off is when you need to wash them, which should be at least weekly. So you've
Absolutely.
got some nice fresh sheets. Now,
Get yourself 2 pairs so you never have to go without.
bro, 2 pairs is the game changer.
Minimum.
I'm genuinely thinking of getting a 3rd pair.
Yeah. Why not?
Why wouldn't you?
Well, especially when you can get $20 off your first order and free shipping if you use our code BEERS20.
Bro.
Only at the Lag Collective.
Yeah, if you want to get on board with the Lag Collective and have the ease of making your bed in under 30 seconds and being able to fall asleep like a child.
And supporting some young Brizzy blokes who are supporting the podcast.
Exactly. If you want to do that, head to lagcollective.com, possibly.au.
Still haven't checked.
Still haven't checked that. We probably should. But
You'll figure it out. It's 2020.
maybe you got to do some research for us and let us know. But yeah, head there, get the $20 off and free delivery, and
Thank us later.
yeah, wrap yourself up and just enjoy it.
Become a better you.
Become a better you.
Their new slogan that we made up for them last week.
Yeah. Yeah. Become a better you.
Lagcollective.com. Maybe.au.
Next game I had, 2013, the Roosters beat Manly 26-18. Now, why this ranks here is because this is 2 teams that we both fucking hate, but DCE, first ever player to be awarded the Clive Churchill Medal on a losing team.
There you go.
And
Didn't even
Minicello,
remember
I
that.
believe, was the first or one of a select amount of people to captain his team from fullback to a premiership, which I think that's a really weird stat.
That is a weird
Like
stat.
a weird stat, like a
Yeah.
weird thing to bring up as something so momentous.
Yeah.
Like, fucking big whoop.
Yeah. Who cares?
The next probably would have been higher on your list, but I hate losing. Broncos 2006 beating the Storm 15-8. It was a really tight game. Lockyer secured the win with like 10-15 to go, I believe, with a drop goal. Got out to a 7-point win.
Lucky the goat in my eyes.
Yeah, he's fucking good. That was just like probably the end of the Broncos' real dominant era.
100%.
Changing of the guard sort of shit. Petro and Webke at the end of their careers. Sean Berrigan. I believe Sean Berrigan got the Clive Churchill. It was like his first time playing 9.
That's so sick.
Which is insane.
Isn't it weird how you have like if you ask me who the best player of like our time is, Darren Lockyer easily. And like if you tried to argue with me, it's not even, I wouldn't even consider your option, because if it's not Lockyer, it's wrong. Like people get so heated, you know what I mean? It's like Andrew John's like, well, it's not.
Cameron Smith?
Nah, Lockyer's got
so?
him. Look, Lockyer's got him.
But like how?
I remember being young and watching Lockyer, and if the Broncos were, I genuinely thought it was the thing. If
we'd score every time.
If we were within the 20 and Lockyer gets the ball, try.
Yeah.
And if they didn't, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
that's what I think about Latrell Mitchell now.
Yeah, he's almost unstoppable.
Yeah. Also, I was rocked when I was doing some research that Lockyer only retired in 2012.
Yeah.
Thought it was a lot earlier.
No, I remember I was at his last game when he got kneed in the face and broke his cheekbone and kicked the field goal to knock the Dragons out.
Yeah, that's right. How good. The next one I've got. Now, this is a blowout game, but I love the narrative around this. Bunnies 30, Dogs 6. Yeah, it's one-sided. First premiership since coming back into the competition. But the big thing here, Clive Churchill medalist Sam Burgess, first hit up of the game, I don't know if you remember this, shattered his cheekbone. And then played the entire 80 with a broken cheekbone.
Fucking hell.
Like,
that is fucked.
That's fucked. And so if he went off, it would have been a completely different game.
Yeah.
But and my old man is a Rabbitohs supporter. I remember being at the pub watching it, and I came home and he's just blind. So fucking happy on the couch. Like, yeah, we won. Like, yeah, dude.
Fucking oath me.
But yeah, like there was some absolute stalwarts from like the Rabbitohs as well, like Nathan Merritt and Johnny Sutton, all those sort of fellas going around still. So it was really good. I just loved, yes, it's a blowout, but the narrative and just what happened and Burgess going with the broken cheekbone, like you don't see that shit anymore.
No. Yeah.
If there was like the HIA stuff, he would not be out there.
No way.
But yeah, pretty cool.
They're like definition of tough, those sort of players.
Yeah.
So fucked.
The only other person I could think of literally who would do that would be like maybe James Graham or Shane Webke.
Yeah.
Shane Webke did it with a broken arm.
Yeah.
All right, 2019.
Tom Dearden, ruptured testicle.
Yeah, ruptured testicle. Yeah, comfortable time.
Comfortable
time. Roosters beating Canberra 14-8. That was a great game. Crazy shit happened.
Oh, that was the
That's the 6 again game. Obviously could have changed a lot of things. Why I like this so much is the Milk fans. That's when they really started to get on my nerves that year. And they lost. Yeah. So shout out to Cody Roach. I hope you cry while you listen to this, remembering that you guys fucked it. You blew it. You blew it.
You blew it.
And Jack Whiten got the Clive Churchill on the losing team, but he was an absolute motherfucker that year. Next one, 2021, Riff beating South last year up here in Brizzy. Close game, dominant. Adam Reynolds looked like he was at home in Suncorp until Cody Walker decided to throw an intercept try. And that just sealed the game. Hearts are broken. See you later. Penrith fucking continue to dominate. Next, really old one, but this is a good narrative one as well. Tight game. Dogs beating the Roosters 16-13. Little Jonathan Thurston.
Little JT.
Down in Canterbury.
Yeah.
18th man. Steve Price couldn't play that game. And Steve Price has just been a battler for God knows how long. JT
wins the game.
He gave his medal.
I know, to Steve Price.
To Steve Price.
What a man.
How fucked is that?
Yeah. Do you think that's karma? Do you believe in footy karma?
Yeah.
That JT literally went out kicking a field goal to win the premiership?
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Good on him.
Yeah.
So, I just think that...
Like, what are the chances?
Bro, but can you imagine... We look back at it in hindsight now. Little Jonathan...
Little J.
was just being a nice dude.
Yeah.
To one of his heroes.
Yeah.
Going, oh, you have my medal. Not knowing that he would go on...
To be an immortal.
To be an immortal.
Like...
Not knowing that he'd be going on to be the prodigal son of Northern Queensland.
Like, a lot of players will get one shot of the grand final in their life. And he got to kick a field goal to win one as his last game. You can't tell me that's not karma.
It's fucked, eh?
So fucked. It's giving me goosebumps
and
talking about it.
He lost 2 other grand finals, I believe. Like, and we'll get to it once I get to higher up, but just the emotion he showed in that other game. But But just looking back, man, like that's such a selfless thing to do. It's such a young dude to give it to someone like that, where you have no guarantees at all of getting back to the biggest stage
and playing another one.
Just shows how fucking dope that bloke is.
Just a great guy.
Just a good cunt.
Fucking oath.
That's it.
That's it.
Now, 2016, this probably should be ranked higher. It would have been if Melbourne won, but the Sharks beating the Storm 14-12. The Shire gets their premiership. I genuinely cried.
Leave the light on.
I was at a 21st, Georgia Wrigley's place.
Yep.
We might have just had a piss up there or something. I had these little hand grenade rums, little green cans that I got real cheap.
Green cans?
They were green ones because
not Bundy rum.
They were Bundy rum, but they were green. They were the size of like I think they were 250 mil.
Yeah, right.
But they were discontinued, so they were in the discount bin for like $10 for 4.
Like double strength or something.
They were double strength.
Yeah.
And I sat there and drank all 8 watching the game without getting up at all. And I forgot that I drank all 8. And when the siren went, I was sitting there at this fucking party sobbing, like crying.
For Paul Gallen?
No, because we lost. I was crying because Melbourne lost. And we almost won on the last play of the game. But I just remember, despite how fucked I was, I literally just sat there and cried. I couldn't help but cry.
That's how much it means to some people.
That's how much it means. Also how fucked I was.
So stay away from green Bundy rum cans.
Exactly. Now, we're getting to the top 3 now. Bear with us here. So, 03. This is the first grand final I remember. And why I remember it is Scott Sattler making that fucking tackle down the sideline on Todd Byrne.
Yep.
A second rower on a winger. The underdog.
Ticker.
The Panther hunting the Rooster.
Ticker.
It was also Scott Sattler was at the end of his career there. He'd just signed to go to the West Tigers. Fuck no. It's one of the greatest tackles I've ever seen.
Time. Yeah.
That's the shit you dream of, you know?
Like what was similarly, obviously not as big a tackle, but Dylan Edwards on the weekend, that tackle. He made that tackle and I turned to my granddad and I was like, he's winning Clive Churchill.
Yeah.
That was it for me.
Yeah. Shit, yeah. He had a great game.
Panthers, they're not losing from there. He didn't need to make that tackle out of nowhere, like just textbook.
And like, Sattler obviously covered more ground in his one, and it's impressive because it's a forward chasing down the back. But you can't take away from Edwards' one.
Shit, no.
It was fucking awesome. But yeah, I just think that was fucking awesome. That's why I remember it, and it was just a cracker of a game. And it's my first memory of a grand final, so
which is pretty cool.
It's got to be up there.
Yeah.
Next one, a Melbourne game had to get in the top 2. So it was Melbourne beating Penrith 26-20. Cameron Smith's last ever game. What a send-off.
Going out the goat.
Yeah. And
deservedly so.
Just reminding Cleary and all those other fellas at Penrith that...
Who's daddy?
He's the real daddy.
He's the real daddy.
And you can never
He's the grandfather.
make him not your daddy.
The grandfather. The grandfather of the dynasty.
Exactly.
The Queensland dynasty.
Yeah. Suck shit. He literally made you guys cry for your entire teenage years.
Yeah.
And into adulthood.
Yeah.
What's that, Nathan? Is that the nappy being ripped off?
From daddy?
You big fucking baby. Yeah. Cameron's your daddy. Cameron's your fucking daddy.
We love Cameron.
Now the last one. As gut-wrenching as it was for you, Cowboys-Broncos.
Yeah. 2015.
And you know what's fucked? People from New South Wales saying that is the greatest
That's what it should be about,
grand final ever. It's just, you couldn't script that shit. It was the Broncos-Cowboys games around that, that 4 to 5 year mark were the best rugby league games. It was the best. It was
always round 1 as well.
Yeah.
Packed out Suncorp.
Round 1, and then halfway through the year,
we'd go up there.
Yeah. And it would just be after Origin, and we'd just one more Origin series, and then it's just like, fuck, here we go again. And it's so tight. It was never a blowout. It was always so close. But just everything that happened in that game, the last 3 minutes, as Rab said, it's the best game he's ever called. That's fucking saying something.
You know what's fucked? I'm like a massive Broncos diehard. But I remember when they're like, Michael Morgan's going across and they're, getting the overlap. I just remember being so shattered. Yeah. And then I remember seeing JT line the kick up, and I obviously fucking love JT.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope he kicks this.
Yeah.
Like, I hope he kicks this goal.
For JT,
Like, that's just the fairy tale that he deserves.
Exactly. One of the good guys in rugby league.
And then he missed, and I was like, fuck. And then I was like, well, now, fuck him. I hope we win.
Yeah.
And we lost. But, like, yeah.
Bro,
it was a fucked game.
I think we forget how good Michael Morgan was.
Oh, fucking oath.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be very wrong here, but of the NRL era, that would have to be the best half combination in finals.
JT and Morgan that year. Yeah.
Like that year.
Is there a better utility in our time frame than Michael Morgan?
No, the only person I could think of would possibly be Sean Berrigan.
Yeah, true.
Sean Berrigan was a weapon, man. I think we were too young to fully.
Yeah, we probably only caught the back end of his career. Yeah.
But
because he played centre and shit as well. Yeah.
But I agree. Morgan's probably the best utility we've ever had.
Morgan's one of those ones who's played 6 all year for Cowboys.
Yeah.
Origin rolls around and pick him in the centres.
Yeah.
First, like, without
Fucking
questioning it.
Or, I don't know, the forwards need a bit of a break. Or Morgo, just go into lock and do some heavy fucking lifting for us. Take some hit-ups, make a lot of tackles. It's like,
Morgo, we've got 2 of the best centres in Inglis and Hodges in the team. What are we going to do? 14.
Yeah.
Like,
is he the ultimate team player then?
Fucking oath.
Was he the backbone of the Queensland dynasty?
I think so.
Would be. Fucking oath.
I wouldn't argue it.
No, I'm not going to try to either. But, yeah, man, when you look at all that, it's like just everything with that. But that final, JT, I distinctly remember when he hit that upright as well. And he's just screaming. And you were like,
that's what it's all about.
Holy shit. When I saw that, I was like, he's not going to lose from here.
Yeah.
Like, he is so G'd up. And Ben Hunt dropping that ball, you feel so sorry for him. As we said earlier in the year, him scoring that try for Queensland at Suncorp, like, redemption. I'm almost tearing up thinking about it right now.
That was fun.
It's genuine redemption because he seems like one of the good guys of rugby league.
Yeah, a Queenslander,
fucking oath.
Full-blooded Queenslander
fucking oath. So
he's another good example. Plays 7 all year. What are we going to do for Origin? Fucking put him at 9.
Utility, 9.
Yeah.
He also trucks it up at 13 sometimes. Yeah. We're just built different up here, aren't we?
Moral of the story.
How good. But yeah, look, that was my breakdown of the last 20 years.
What are we going to do now till NRL kicks back off? We don't know. We don't know what to do with the sports podcast.
Yeah, we're going to probably take a bit of a break for a couple of weeks and just redesign this, which would be good.
Let us know what you want to see. There's still plenty of sport coming. There's a Soccer World Cup, a Rugby League World Cup, a Cricket 2020 World Cup. And then, of course, the Summer of Cricket will kick off. So
should be good.
We might take a couple of weeks off and then come back when the footy the World Cup starts up or something. But let us know. One
other thing that I wish I got onto this earlier is that Curry knockout. It was the 50th year of the Curry knockout, so
some
it's
big names floating around.
Yeah, from what I understand, I probably should do some more research into this, but it's been going for 50 years, and it's like a knockout rugby league tournament where it's the different Indigenous groups from around New South Wales, and they get like their mob together and play this knockout cup. I think all the pool games are 20-minute halves. They got the women's in there now as well, which was, geez, man, every game was so fiery, so much passion. But what I loved was the amount of current and former NRL players that go back to play for their community. Or a community that they've been involved in. Latrell's massive for it. That's the first time I ever saw Latrell Mitchell was playing Curry knockout.
Really?
He was 18.
That's sick.
And he was literally just like throwing people around, man. He was getting in fights and shit because it was fiery.
I read some shit today. People were talking about how it's that he shouldn't be playing because he might get injured for the World Cup. Like, fuck off.
Fuck that. It's about what it means.
Exactly what rugby league is all about.
Fucking
going and playing in those sorts of comps.
And like the Indigenous community is such a big backbone to rugby league. Like they are some of the most passionate supporters.
And produce some fucking good players as well.
And also like the communities themselves have helped raise and model those players to what they are. So they're representing their culture, they're representing their communities, and it's not just about going and playing footy. It's like
way bigger than that.
You listen to the commentators like Tamana Tahu and Dean Witters of Parramatta Eels fame. They were commentating the tournament and just the passion they were talking about as well. They're also actively involved with coaching with it.
Yeah.
Like they
simply love it.
They were just loving it, man. And shout out to them. Like it was such a cool tournament to watch.
Yeah.
Latrell ended up going down in the last game
Injured.
to Newcastle. No, they lost.
I was going to say, fuck.
But Latrell's team had Latrell, the Rose brothers. Georgie put the boots back on, and he was so fired up. It was so sick to see. Benny Barber.
That's sick.
But, man, the talent running around out there
Some big names,
isn't playing either NRL or even like Q Cup or New South Wales Cup.
Yeah.
Fuck, there's going to be like, man, some of those wingers so quick. It'd be awesome to see him get in. But I think it'd be a wild time, but I'd love to go down to a Curry knockout one day. I think also whoever wins, they get to host the knockout
the next year.
That's
sick.
So it's going to be in the Newcastle area next year.
Yeah, cool. Maybe we road trip down.
It'd be fucking sick. It was almost going to be Dubbo if Wildcat won, but the Newcastle All Blacks won.
Newcastle's a lovely part of town.
Yeah, it is. So
lovely part of town. Doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Yeah,
Newcastle town's nice.
Yeah. It's a lovely spot, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Nice scenery.
Anything else for this week? Well, for the podcast?
Look, I don't know. Yeah, as we said, we're just going to fucking go away and have a think about it in training this week, and we're going to come back out with a good game plan, and you'll see us in the second half, and we're really going to execute what we come together with. So full credit to the boys, and thank you for your support, but we're going to come out bigger and better than ever.
Yep. Exactly what he said.
Yep.
See ya.
See ya, bye.